And like we say, everyone else, even though I don't want to say one thing about that, because we believe, according to democracy, according to Torah, a person is innocent until proven guilty. Okay, when he's proven guilty, then we'll comment. All right, but other than that, before a person is proven guilty, he has the right, and the Prime Minister of Israel has the right of any other citizen to a fair trial. But I believe, with Hashem's help, he'll be on trial. But he has the right to a fair trial, and he should be considered innocent and proven guilty. But then again, there's an old Hebrew expression that says, where there's fire, there's smoke. Okay, so if we see the smoke, and this is already the 6th investigation, then things just don't look good. Okay, but back to our brothers and sisters in America. Okay, in order to get them to wake up, Hashem is bringing a nobody, and against all logic, against all political science, against all history, Hashem is going to make him the President of the United States. This should really scare American Jewry. Now, I know many Americans are Democrats.
I think it should scare American Christians as well, anyone who's not Muslim.
I think anyone, it should, yes. I would, okay, we'll widen the next concentric circle, okay, with our Christian friends. They should certainly be upset. You can imagine what's going to be with the American economy when more or less, even though it's on the way down, it should be a lot worse. You can expect a lot of havoc in American society. Okay. Now, recently, let's get back to what we were continuing. Recently, Obama, because of publicity reasons, he's been publicly distancing himself from his spiritual mentor. Okay. And he's been, let's call it disinviting right from this so-called Reverend Wright from various Obama events. Okay. And he's trying to do damage control on Jewish support. Okay. But Obama has a lot more anti-Israel friends. If you look, there's this guy in Chicago named Ali Abunimah. Okay, Ali Abunimah is a really well-known Chicago-based activist for Palestinian causes. Now, he's got, to say that he has an anti-Israel and anti-Semitic attitude is like a Sesame Street understatement. Okay. Abunimah has written himself that he's met Obama a half a dozen times at various Palestinian Arab American events, and they've been photographed together. You can see him with photographs with Obama and with Obama's wife. Okay, let's look at another one. There's another Muslim called Edward Said. Edward Said is an American Islamic critic of Israel, and he developed a school of study about the Middle East, and it's based on the denunciation of what's called Orientalism. Okay, this is the whole ideology. And what he's done, he goes around with this ideology to American congressmen, and this Said has become one of the biggest anti-Israel and even anti-American lobbyists on Capitol Hill. Okay, now this Said, he's got a lot of ideological errors. He's got a lot of his students that they're together with him, and this passing grassroots, and this is contradictory in a way. You've got Obama. Obama's poison is working in black liberation movement and anti-Semitism among blacks. You have Obama by way of the Islams even working anti-Semitic on the whites, in the white hate movements. And you would think that the white hate movements would be against the Muslims and this and that. No, but they are injecting it from the Islamic side also. In other words, what you're having anti-Semitism, which is called anti-Zionism and anti-Israelism, but there's no such thing. We know it's all one and the same.
Rabbi, I have to jump in here because we only have about less than 60 seconds left, so go ahead.
But we're going to say, and find that we don't believe someone that says they're anti-Zionistic or anti-Israel because they mean they're anti-Jewish. Okay, but it's okay that, it's more acceptable to say they're against Zionism or Israel than say they're against Jews.
What is Hashem's peace plan?
Hashem's peace plan is that this week's Parsha, it says, if you follow my decrees, Bechukotai, and observe my commandments and perform them, then I will provide your rains. Hashem promises everything is to give us our grain and this and that. And Hashem says, I will provide peace in the land. Hashem gives us a guarantee. He's never broken a promise before. He's not going to promise again, which means that we have to strengthen our observance of Judaism. And that's the way to make peace, and not to give back territories, and not to do any appeasement, and no concessions, but just to strengthen our connection with Hashem.
And not to follow after any other gods as well. Thank you very, very much, Rabbi Lazer Brody from www.lazerbrody.net. We'll speak with you next week.
Have a wonderful week, Tamar.
Thank you for being with us.
God bless. Bye-bye.